Hi all, Scott here again. It's Sunday. So let's talk about editing today. Last year I shopped around for two editors and I used one of them for a while. And this week I looked around for another. I did four of them. I contacted and they sent me samples on how to improve my writing. The thing that frustrates me about this is, everybody tells you, get an editor, get an editor, get an editor. The thing is for me, I need to find one who's going to improve my writing so it makes sense to what I wrote. And at this point, a lot of them basically just tell me to cut words and rewrite the sentences the way that they showed me, did in my samples, which to me that doesn't help me any, because I don't understand why some of those sentences were rewritten. A lot of the times they tell me that my writing is redundant, so to me it sounds like I'm long-winded. But this is how I hear the story when I write it, so I don't think I'm going to be able to change that. And working with a lot of those editors who want me to remove those passages, it just I don't feel that I can do this, because most of the time my stories are not even the word count that a lot of people use, because I tend to cut my words, off. For my longer novels, about 40 to 50,000 words. So, chopping 700 words out of a 1,400 word chapter, I must have not even wrote the book. Or I should have just, made it a short story, because they want me to remove so much. I've had, a couple editors tell me to take out the swear words. I had other ones who told me, only put the physical description in the beginning of the book and never mention it again. So they remove all of my my words for the physical description, because I mentioned hair color and skin tone and others, eye color and stuff like this. It's, I guess, everybody says, find an editor, find an editor, find an editor. But to me, you need to find an editor who's going to work with what you write and complements your story. And if you're just going to sit there and, cut words without explaining, or, go, well, I want this written this way, and you wrote it this way, it doesn't work for me. So the one that I am using right now, I'm happy with what she showed me when I gave her the sample. I have sent her the third book for Cleo and Petra. I was going to release that today, but I sent her that to edit, and I hope she gets it back to me before next weekend. If she doesn't get it back to me by next weekend, I have to make a decision what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll release it, or I'll hold off and see what happens. I don't know. She also has my first story for Crimson Rose, and she has the second part, which I'm going to release in April. And when she finishes those three, I sent her another one of my longer books to work through. It was the one that it was my event book for Bastet's Daughter. It was the prequel book. And that was the one that I used for my sample to send around. For what I see for her editing, I like what she did to it. She made it, she tightened it up, but she didn't completely, gut my story and make it sound like it's no longer my story. So, which is what I was kind of looking for an editor. I understand, an editor is there to change things, but changing every sentence that I write, or every paragraph, or every chapter, it gets a little crazy. I'm like, this book doesn't feel like mine anymore. It feels like what they wanted it to become. So this is what's going on with this. I will see what happens as we work together. I do plan on having her help me fix my earlier books. But again, as I said before, money is an issue. So when I have the income, or when she has the time as well, I will slowly start improving my former books. And when I update them, I will be raising the price, as well as, I'll put in the description that this book has no longer been self-edited. It's now been edited by a paid editor. Hopefully this improves everything. I write the way I write, and I guess there's nothing I can, do about changing this. So this is how it's going to be. But we'll see what happens as the editors and my relationship continues. This is getting close to my 10 minutes, so let's see what else is going on. I am working on Bastet and Mira's second book for Dyalessia Games. I hit 10,000 words on Friday. I planned to release this in May. It might be later in May now, depending on what goes on with the editor's schedule and how I finish it. But I think at this point I'm kind of ahead of where I wanted to be. And probably in April, or probably late April, I will start working on... I started story 4 for Cleo and Petra's. It's Petra's and Ren's turn, so they'll be exploring some new stuff. And I probably will add my third book to Crimson Rose. I don't know yet what my other long novel for August, I believe it will be, but I'll figure that out as I continue to write. I do have an idea for another story. She came to me the other night before I fell asleep, and she wrote this whole opening chapter, so I might start another series. I don't know, but I'll have to see, because there's a couple other ones I would like to either write book 3 or book 2 of, but I will figure that out in the next coming months. For gaming, I'm still playing Borderlands 3, and I'm working on my first playthrough with Flak, so it's taking me a while because I have to explore all the maps and do all the things, open the chests and the radio towers and find the claptrap units and all those things that I did on the first one and I no longer had to do it again. But when you start up in second playthrough, or new playthrough, you got to do them all over again for the new character. I guess at this point that's about everything I have to say. So I kind of rambled about editor, but maybe, for those who are thinking about hiring an editor, maybe it'll help give you some ideas. Like I said, it's better to work with somebody who complements your writing and who you feel that's going to be fit what you're trying to do, instead of just, having somebody go, well, I want this book rewritten this way, and this is how I feel that you should have written it in the first place, which, like I said, to me, that doesn't sound like it's my story anymore. It's basically their story, and they just, used it to change how I originally wrote it. So, but I have a good feeling with this new editor, and I think her and I are gonna get along pretty well, and she'll hopefully improve my books. So I guess that's it for this week. I will be back probably next week. I'm not quite sure what I will be talking about because I'm just, writing Bastet and Mira's new book. So that's most of my time right now. All right, I'm out of here. See ya.